the moment you've all been waiting for. The royal hostess with the mostest. The queen bee with the money, honey.
Beeplus.
That's right. And it's time you all bow to the real queen bee.
Here comes the most beautiful bee in the universe.
You're stealing all the bees just because you're jealous?
No, that's just a bonus. My actual plan is to capture all the queens. Their hives will then have no choice but to follow me.
All right, did you guys like that? I brought back my intro video. I haven't played that in months. And I brought back the Natasha version. Okay, hello guys, hello everybody. And let me say hello to the people that are in chat. Oh gosh, there's a lot of people. Wow. Okay, hello everybody. Hello Rose, Froggy, Laurie Ann, Gen X, Mrs. Portland, Rhodey Gal, Earthbound Spirit, Julian Jackson, Captain Lee, M. Fisher, Marshwitch, Melissa Jade, Roddy Mama, Outside the Box, Kellyanne. Wow, the list goes on and on and on. Oh my God. Hello, everybody. I am very excited to see everybody. Oh, Penny for your thoughts, Christine, Charlie. There's a lot of people here. And if I missed you, I am so sorry, but I sincerely appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, so I brought back that intro. For whatever reason, it won't let me add my newest intro. And I have to figure out why it's not letting me do that. But that was the one that I had originally made. So don't make fun too harshly. Yeah, Shar, I did see that Natasha apparently has a new channel. So today, I mean, there's a couple things I wanted to talk about today. Hello, Louise and Blue Velvet River, and everybody just coming in. And Bryn. Wow, yeah, okay. So I have a lot of people. I'm not used to having this many people in here. This is awesome. Hi, Missing in Life. So I don't know how many of you guys have been on the tubes today. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's gone on today. So I'm not even sure where to start. I really should get a notebook and I should start writing in the notebook the different things that I want to say because because there's just so much. So, I saw Country Joe went live. So I clicked on it and, there she is. Natasha is up on the screen talking a whole lot of nonsense. And I'm like, whose channel is she on? She has another channel. Now, I don't understand this. Like right, Rose, the ban evasion. No attorney is going to be telling her, continue to make accounts and go live when they've told you that you can't. Nobody is going to be telling her that. So the fact that she's doing that just shows me where she's at psychologically. Like psychologically, I don't think she's capable of putting down YouTube. I also think though, and I actually get kind of a kick out of it because she was going on and on and on about the that nobody has a following like she does. It might as well been, I don't know, what's that song from Beauty and the Beast that Gaston sings? I mean, I'm just going to do Disney references. She might as well be singing that. Nobody can do anything like Natashacooper, which, I beg to differ. I might not be a large channel here, but I did have a very large Instagram following. Have you ever had 129,000 people, Natasha? No, I didn't think so. Okay. Well, you want to know what? When I got quote unquote canceled, you want to know what I did? I took responsibility and moved on. It's kind of what you have to do. Even though it wasn't entirely my fault, but that's a whole other story for another day. Yeah, I mean, Chowder, she does. I do have to give her credit for that. However, some of the stuff that she was saying, I do want to address. Now, I will say also, while I, have people's attention here, I am like 150 subscribers off from hitting 1K. So if you have not subscribed to me and you want to help me, live, my dream of hitting 1,000 subscribers, if you want to hit that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. Or that thumbs up if you're already subscribed, which I can't thank you guys enough. Like that literally happened overnight. So I'm almost like, I don't even know what to do with that. I'm not used to having this many people in chat. And I know that she would laugh at that and that's fine. But she was talking and she was basically saying that no other, I couldn't find it either. And I'm going to talk about that. But, I was like, she's saying that no other creator here can hold a candle to her and doesn't have a following like she does. Now, see, I thought it was funny that she was saying that. And here's why. So she tried to bring people over to Twitch, and she might have had a large audience that first night, but I would be willing to bet that there weren't that many people in the chat. I don't know if any of you guys were there, but I would be willing to bet a lot of those were us, people that were kind of quote unquote hate watching, I would be willing to bet that a majority of that was that. So I don't think she had 400 people watching her that were there to support her. No doubt in my mind. Hold on. Hi Jameson and Sarah Jane. Hello, and Chantal. And if I missed anybody else, I'm so sorry. But yeah, so I'm willing to bet that. So I don't know if anybody kept looked at her numbers after that, the other stream she did on Twitch. But when I checked in on it, because I only did once or twice, I didn't notice. I thought that her numbers looked low. I thought that it didn't look like she had a whole lot of people at all. So there was that. On Facebook, she certainly didn't have a whole lot of people. When I looked, no, I couldn't find it either. I couldn't find the channel, Rose. So here, I had a theory about that though. Hi, Mr. Portland. So I was like, okay. So she's talking about how everybody, she has this following now. And I don't know what was the thing, if somebody can clarify, did she make her very own streaming platform? Basically she made a website. Her following isn't going to follow her there. See, what she's starting to realize is that she has nothing if she's not on YouTube. Her target audience, her audience does not want to be bothered with moving to another platform. They just don't. And if she moves to another platform, the majority of those, thousands and thousands of people, they're not going to come with her. And she knows that. And that's what makes her so upset. So I think that reality is starting to sink in. And the fact that she's getting booted after platform, after platform, after platform, because of her own bad behavior. I mean, it's no one's fault but hers. She has a website. I couldn't find her on YouTube. So at first I thought, because I saw that in chat, so I was there and Country Joe couldn't find it. And then I was in chat and Mandy C couldn't find it. And then other people were saying she was live. So at first I was like, did she block all creators? And just so any creator that might start a whole campaign against her, I'm sorry, not against her, because that's not what's going on. What's going on is that, I'm sorry, bring awareness to the fact that she's evading her ban, the fucking weirdo she is, and and not in a good way. But I'm sure it will be gone. I'm gonna say because she's on here and she's back up to her old stuff, and she is just back on her bullshit and just being absolutely awful. And and she's the premieres. I don't know what's going on with all of that. It's really stupid. It's really stupid. I don't understand how she thinks that it's okay. The rules don't apply to her. Laws don't apply to her. Rules don't apply to her. I think she even said, she made a lot of points today that I just wanted to yell and scream at. Oh my God. I really should play it while I yell and scream if I can find it. Because she was saying that she has content, right? I'm sorry. She has content. None of us have content. Now, bitch, I'm gonna correct you on that. Okay. So I've never once seen you make a video. So now, make a video and you tell me how long that takes you to make. Then you have creators like Melissa Jade, who does extensive research for, the stuff that she does. The conspiracy theory stuff and the weird stuff, all of that. There are creators here that make actual content. Country Joe makes actual content. The clip channels, like them or not, make actual content. What are you making? What content are you making but sitting up on a platform and running your mouth? Now, I understand that's what I'm doing right now, but if you look at my channel has a lot of hard work. I've put a lot of hard work into my channel. What have you done? Sat in a recliner and bullied people and ran your mouth and begged for money? Is that the hard work you've put into building your quote unquote empire? Because I could do that in my sleep. Anybody could do that. And you do have the charisma. Sure, she's got charisma. She's got that. But I've noticed, and at first, guys, I was, giving her subscribers the benefit of the doubt because I was one of her subscribers, and there might be some of them coming in here. I've had a few of them come in and try to make nasty comments that I'm just laughing at. I almost didn't even engage with some of them because I was like, you know what, you were literally too stupid to insult. But I might be in a mood to engage with some of them, and I'm going to be mentioning a few of them by name tonight. I debated whether I wanted to do that because some of them do have channels, and I don't want to bring any attention to their channels because they're not worth anybody's time. But and I'm sorry to say that, but you know what? If you're going to come on here and just be mean and do shady stuff, then yeah, I'm going to say it's not worth anybody's time. Sorry, I'm going to say that. Sorry, not sorry. Hi, Shot of Poison. Thank you so much. Welcome. I'm glad people enjoy my channel because I have worked very hard at this channel. It pulled up. It says, yeah, well, she's not. Well, even if she was to change her behavior entirely, she's evading a ban. She's evading a ban. So, yeah. So what was I saying? You know, she likes to say all sorts of stuff about everybody else, saying that it's all about money for us and all we care about is money. But have you ever noticed that her tone of voice completely changes when, you know, she was talking about how she can't make as much money on her other thing, like on Facebook? You know, the only time you hear true emotion in her voice is when she's describing that, the fact that she can't make that much money. And she whines and complains about it. And quite frankly, it's embarrassing. But you know, she has no shame. I don't think she sees it that way. You know, I don't think I've ever heard anybody else in this community, anybody actually, beg for money like she does. I don't think I've ever seen a PayPal pool like she does every single night, but from anybody here at all. If people choose to super chat creators, that's their decision. I've certainly seen people get a lot of super chats. But that's what it's there for. I have no problem with that. If people, you know, decide to give super chats to somebody. But nobody does these pinned pools where they are constantly finding manipulative ways to get their audience's attention back to it. Like, it's like she's looking for ways to ask people to donate without asking people to donate. And one of her favorite ways to do that is claiming that Douche Canoe is texting her. And she'd be like, oh, this asshole again is texting me. And, you know, saying your fund is only at 0.4%. Well, so okay, Natasha, let's be upfront about it. Just call it how it is. Say, you know, guys, I really would like to remind you to donate to my fund. You know, instead of making up some, you know, ridiculous story that I would like to think most people can see through, but you know, you'll see the donations start coming in after. The same thing she does with saying that the haters, oh, you know, I'm just using this as an example because I heard this example at one point, but you know, the Granny wasn't even talking about this, but I saw it in real time, guys. Oh, Jessica Lynn is, you know, making fun of my donation pool and saying that, you know, my fund, my subscribers aren't donating. Oh, you know, they're making fun of it. They're getting a good laugh out of it. And then all of a sudden you see the money start flowing in because they want to show us that we're the idiots. And nobody was even talking about her. I think Granny was probably talking about Crocs. Like, honest to God, I don't think it was Crocs at that point, but it definitely wasn't Natasha or her PayPal pools. So I thought that was interesting. And hello to everybody coming in. I am ADD so badly. I'm going to get better at this though. I'm going to get to highlighting comments once I get in my groove with this, but I'm not ignoring anybody and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Honest to God, I really, really do. I'm not used to having this many people, which, you know, she likes to make fun of. Well, you know, Natasha, look at your sub count and then look at your, like, I'm a numbers person. So I'm not going to lie to you. Your analytics, like, you know, the number, you have thousands of subscribers, yet sometimes you're not even pulling in over 300 people in your chat. So, you know, that's not, I don't know, that's not great. I mean, it's not bad, but it's definitely not great. So it's not like, you know, like last name ever, first name greatest kind of thing. I've seen better. Yeah, Douche Canoe. Oh, Amanda. Yeah, if Christiana, I didn't hear that, but you know, I mean, it was apparent to me almost immediately that was fake. That's a manipulation tool to kind of pressure people to feel like, you know, they can. And you know, have you ever noticed though, that also she'll be like crying and upset and like, you know, sad fishing. And then all of a sudden somebody will donate and her tone will completely change. She'll be like, oh, yeah. And then like someone will, thank you for donating to the person who donated. Thank you. Like she's able to like, you know, kind of flip that personality. And it's all an act. And like the fact that people don't see that is ridiculous. And then, you know, I had somebody come on and comment on like most of my videos today. They were like, you know, well, here you are still talking about her. And, you know, you guys already took her channel down. So why are you still talking? And I'm like, first of all, nobody took her channel down but her. Second of all, she hasn't left. She's been here in one way or another. And as long as she's on YouTube, I'm going to keep talking about her. And you know what? Even if she's not on YouTube, I'm still going to talk about her because fuck Natashacooper. You know, I'm sorry. You know, she's caused enough harm and problems on here and I'm done. Like I'm all set with that. And if it's not her, it's going to be one of the other people that are in this community causing problems. And there are a few of them. And I am checking my list and, you know, making a list and checking it twice or whatever the fuck that is. Her true numbers are in the absolutely, Allie. The makeup sales and the karaoke is going to show her true numbers. And she doesn't have a whole lot of engagement for that. And that's the only thing that she does that isn't drama. What are you creating, Natasha? Like, I honest to God, like, can one of her subscribers, or not even subscribers because she doesn't have any subscribers, one of her supporters, like, I really would like to know what she is contributing to YouTube. And yes, okay, all right, so there is, she does have a community. That's fair. Community is important. Community is like, building a social media, following 101. So I do believe that there are people that are dependent on her community as, a support system. I do believe that. I do. But here's the thing. She's getting it. So they're saying that we took that away from them. We took the community away. No, Natasha, if you gave a fuck about your subscribers and the people that, depend on that interaction they get, if you really cared about that, like you were talking about today, you would have changed your behavior. Because, the only reason that you're not there for them anymore is you. It has nothing to do with me or any other channel here. End of story. And she's been on YouTube every day, Allie. Yeah, she absolutely has. And that's the thing, like, she does have a point, sure. And I feel like a lot of the time she's listening to me and uses what I'm saying recently. Like, I know that that's probably like delusions of grandeur here, but she's repeating the points that I've made that I actually haven't heard elsewhere. And using that as a manipulation tactic. Because yeah, she does have a community. She does. And she does have people that, are reliant, not on her per se, but on the community that she's created. I honestly don't think it really has much to do. There are other communities here on YouTube that, people could go join. They just need to like detox off the Coop aid, which, I'm sure is not pleasant. I kind of saw the writing on the wall and like took a step out. So the reason to that subscriber that I'm still talking about it is because she's still here causing problems, talking shit, trying to make everybody else feel bad and make herself feel better. Well, she's the one who doesn't have a channel. She's the one who doesn't, and it's her own damn fault. Take accountability. I, for the longest time, tried to point fingers at why I lost my 129,000. I had over 300 Patreon subscribers. I was building an empire, and I made a mistake. I got cocky. I made a mistake, and I gave the haters, quote unquote, the inch that they needed to run that mile, and I got booted. And you know what? I could, point the finger all I want, but end of the day, it's my own fault. And I took the consequences. I did try to fight it originally, but then I was like, whatever. And I could never build that again. I definitely got lucky, as did she with the Gabby Petito case. So she took the people that, was this new influx of thousands of people from the Petito case, and then she started cross promoting her Recline channel. And then, she started having this influx of people. And that's when the money really started rolling in. I never noticed it until recently. Like, she would always have like the weird, she's been scamming forever, but when it's gotten turned up to an 11. And she shouldn't, she can't be doing that stuff. And it's her own fault. I don't know how much louder I could scream that. And I also have a lot of words for some of her goons that are still, diehard supporting her. Some of them are just as abusive as she is. Some of them are just as problematic as she is. And I always said I wasn't going to go after subs. I always said that I wasn't going to talk about them because, I genuinely think a lot of them are shitty people. I think a lot of them, not all of them, there are some good people over there, but, there are some, and technically, some of them are creators, technically. So that makes them fair game. And I will be mentioning them because I've been seeing a bunch, and some of them I thought were getting a grip and maybe opening their eyes, but no. And, I think it's interesting, and I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion for some people, and I'm sorry, but I just speak my truth, right? So with that whole incident where there were two specific people, when Jessica, first of all, I'm not familiar with your dirty hooker. I mean, I've seen her in chat. I've heard her on panel a few times, and she seems incredibly nasty and mean-spirited and just Dorothy-like in my experience. But I'm not familiar with her targeting any specific person. However, I've heard it like secondhand, and I believe it. And then, the other person that was, quote unquote doxxed by Granny's watching is Manic Stream, which I've also debated mentioning at all because why bother? So I'm going to say that there. So those two, and if you push and push and push at people, so by Natasha's own logic, what did you do to Jessica to make her react the way she did, in Natasha's words. I wasn't there for that stream. I didn't see what happened, but honestly, like, you can't go around and like talk shit about people and like, and you know, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I might be wrong. I might be wrong. But I noticed that when I got, you know, when Dorothy decided to do what she did to me and boot me to the curb and tell the whole world my business, you know, I noticed that she started, you know, doing the love bombing with Manic Stream quite frequently, and it became this whole thing, you know, and I could do a whole stream about that, but I'm not even going to. But the thing about that is that I started seeing that, and now, right after that happened, I started seeing her trying to pick a fight with Jessica. And I was like, where is this coming from? And, you know, all of a sudden I heard that, you know, Jessica said something about her children or parenting, which I never heard. And, you know, then it went back and forth, and Jess ignored it for a really long time. And I'm going to tell you, like, I'm telling you guys this from a standpoint where, like, you know, at that point in time, like, you know, Jess and I weren't really talking, like, you know, we had a falling out. It wasn't until like recently that like we kind of put our differences aside. At least I have. I hope she has. I think she has. But, you know, so I was noticing that, and I'm like, why is she still talking about her? Like, nobody was talking about her at all. Like, I'm talking about Manic Stream. Nobody was talking about her. Literally nobody mentioned her at all. And she's on there talking and talking and talking. And then you have her husband who was in there making these really awful things at Jess. And like, all I can say to that is that you know, I don't, whatever, if they have a reason that's not my business, but you can't treat people like that and expect them not to push back eventually. Like, you just can't. And then I'm also tired. I'm on a rant today, guys, and I'm apologizing if I'm everywhere. I just have a lot to say. And I debated mentioning subscribers that are not subscribers, those people at all, because I don't want to, you know, give them any publicity. Oh my God, why is my phone talking to me? And, you know, but I have a lot to say, and I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice about that. I'm going to shut up before I, you know, but yeah, you dirty hooker. I always turned off when she would come on because I actually thought she was Dorothy at one point. I was like, oh my God, like that, just their like, you know, demeanor. And I've seen her, but like, actually her and Manic Stream have been bouncing around today talking shit. So, I'm not really, you know, I'm almost expecting it at this point, but you know, like I'm going to say whatever I want about Natasha or anybody else, because that's my right. And that's what you guys do. You all talk as much shit as you want. So, do I have a recording of her new channel? If she took that video down, then no. And I should have, I can check. Yeah, her voice, all of them are annoying, all of them. And I'm going to, you know, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I came to a conclusion today that I'm like really, I'm going to have to do some research on, but I'm going to go into that later. But what I wanted to say is that I'm really tired of hearing channels, you know, be like, I'm not going to do drama anymore. I'm not going to do this. I don't want to be part of the drama. I'm not going to do it anymore. I've had enough. I'm taking a break. I'm doing all of these things. And then the next day, here they are, you know, back on here in their title, drama. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, that lasted a long time. Or they will do another topic and they'll notice that nobody gives a fuck and nobody shows up, and then they'll go back to drama, but they'll never own that. If you're a drama channel, own it. Own it. Be like, I'm a drama channel. Fuck yes. You know, this is my drama channel. I'll own it. There's nothing shameful in doing drama. Just don't be an asshole. Like, to the point where it's, you know, abusive. That's all. You know, we don't have to be doxing each other and, you know, going into people's children's lives and, you know, stalking people. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that to have some fun on here. I can just talk shit about, you know, what you guys are doing on here, which is quite a bit. And yeah, she does still have her supporters. Natasha, I'm talking about. She does still have these people, and even some of the larger creators that are still supporting her and still giving her, but it seems like it's less and less. And the more people that kind of leave her, the funnier it is to me. And I don't care if they say that that's mean, because you can hear it. She's starting to, like, I think the reality is starting to set in that, like, you know, people aren't going to stick around. I learned that the hard way. When I got taken down off Instagram, I thought to myself, you know, at least I'll have these people that I've made connections with. But I learned very quickly that once you don't have that, you know, that kind of influence anymore, and you're, you know, associating with you doesn't come with like some clout, they move on to the next big thing. That's just how this works. And she will have some people that stick around, but I think that a lot of people don't even like her. I do think a lot of people use her, and not the haters, using her as a topic. Topics are fair game. There are people that use her to build their channels. They'll go up on her panel. They will, get her audience to, get to know them. And, then they'll branch off. And I've seen it time and time again. It's not a bad strategy. I mean, I don't actually have a problem with that, but Natasha does. Yeah, but I will say now that I'm a creator, I do see that it's annoying when somebody slides in and, kind of plugs their own channel. And a lot of them think they're being sneaky about it, but like they're not sneaky about it. I'm all good. Like if I like you, I'll drop your channel. I have no issue. Not that I have a huge following, but yeah. And right. So I don't know if any of you guys were watching the Johnny Depp trial today. So for those of you who were, there was a psychological expert that they had on who was describing, I'm not sure if more or less like, suggesting that Amber has borderline personality disorder. Now, when they were describing some of these traits and characteristics, I actually took a screen recording because I felt like they were talking about Natasha. Straight up. I was like, that sounds exactly like what Natasha does about her friendships, that, it was very, very, very uncanny. And I don't know if I might try and play it. But it was uncanny. It was like, they value and then devalue, but then they'll make amends because they'll get over that very, very quickly. And they seem to go through an endless revolving door of friends. And it's very, very true. You'll notice that with her, and she feels that her needs should be, come before everybody else's, in a friendship. She doesn't have to reciprocate. But if that person isn't there when she immediately needs them, suddenly they are the worst person in the planet. They were never a good friend to her. They were all of these things. And she'll go off on this tirade. Now, according to this psychological expert, that somebody with those traits might feel remorse afterwards and be like, wow, I just acted like an idiot. So they'll kind of, they'll get over it. And then they'll try to, it's like this endless cycle. And it's, it's abusive. And I'm not saying, I don't want to put any stigma on people that have stuff like that. I honestly don't. I am the last person that should be doing that. So that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the description and the way that she described it was very much so. I thought that I was listening to about Natasha, like personality disorders, because she does. Like, she thinks that she's better than everybody else. She thinks that she's able to do things that none of us are. She thinks that, nobody could possibly, have any content. But that's the thing, though. Like, what is your content, Natasha? What is your content? You say you're a drama channel. That's how drama channels work. They talk about, the stuff that's going on in the community, like I'm doing right now. And your name, it's a topic. So I'm going to use that. And I'm going to talk about it. If that's content, it's content. It's not the only content I have. And I certainly put a lot of work into my videos, which I have not seen one that you have ever done. The new channel is gone already, Captain Lee. Okay, good. Because I really hope YouTube enforces this. I want YouTube to show her that she is not invincible. She is not above the law. I don't believe she has lawyers. And, she wouldn't be this upset otherwise. I feel it in my bones. She's like, it's starting to set in that she is not above everybody else. And I think this is a great opportunity. I wish people that, want to build a channel the best. It's not easy. I've thought about giving up many, many, many times. It seems that I've kind of found my groove, and I was hesitant to kind of speak my truth on here. I was, but then when I realized that nobody else is going to give me that consideration, nobody else is going to, consider my feelings and be polite because I'm very polite in my real life, or else you get to know me, and that then you get to, know my casual self, which is this. And I can be petty. I can be very mean. I've always said I can be petty. I'm a very petty person. But I try not to be. But, yeah, she has almost 1,000. Of course she does. Well, guys, like I said, I am like 150 off from hitting 1,000 subs. I've had the watch time to monetize for like 2 months now. So if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, because this is good. I'm very happy, and I appreciate all of you guys for doing that. I'm honored, honestly. It's not gone yet. The coattail riding. Oh my God. And she thinks that she's like, a big deal. Like, sure, when Jess came on the scene and she started talking about Natasha. Sure, that was her, topic for a while because it was a big topic. But she gained a following really fast, and people won't stick around if they don't find you entertaining or personable. I learned that firsthand. Like, if you're boring and nobody cares about what you're talking about, you could be talking about Natasha, but nobody would give a shit. Nobody would care. So, for her to say that, they built it off of her, I don't think that's entirely true. And she even said it herself. If you don't have it, you don't have it. I didn't think I had it either. I'm still unsure of it. But if people enjoy it, then I'm here for it. I'm here. I can do this. She lied to her subs now. She's building a brand. Yeah, okay, she's building a brand. Yeah, like who? You know what? Oh God, yes. Okay, good point. So, do any of you remember? And I wish I had gotten a screen recording. This was back maybe like a month or two ago. She said that she had received a letter from YouTube that said that she was admitted into a program where she would have a personal YouTube assistant, a direct line to YouTube itself to help guide her in learning to be a creator and, all of those things. And that she was, selected to be part of a new program that they had. You remember that girl? Yeah. So what happened to that? Because you said that, you can't get a hold of anybody in YouTube and all of those things. Well, what happened to your like personal YouTube person? I thought that, you had a personal connection to YouTube. I don't know what happened about that. I just remembered it. Yeah, she definitely said it. Hold on. Hi, Red Door Woman. So I was like, okay, so what happened to that? You were selected for like this elite program. And I guess nothing happened with that, or maybe that was a lie entirely. I don't know. I should actually research if that's actually a thing or if she just made that up. At this point, I do think that she's like, grasping at strings to kind of validate, reinforce in her subs' minds that, she has a lawyer. And that she's, really making progress with this because it validates what she's saying. And I don't think that she does. I don't. And even if she did, guys, she said she was using that 20K to put an end to bullying and harassment on YouTube or whatever. So if that was the case, she should have already used that money to pay towards doing that. And now she's saying that she wants to use it to get her subs back. Like, I don't get that. Her channels or whatever. Like, it doesn't make sense. Hold on, wait, I saw somebody that I wanted to say hello to here. Hi, Christina, welcome. Her attorneys, right, oh my God, I'm glad you saw that, Lori. So yeah, she said that she has a meeting with her attorneys, and I'm like, do you realize that it's like Sunday? Or, I was on a Saturday, I'm like, you're have a meeting on a Sunday? Like, I don't care if you're like close friends with your lawyer, which she isn't, as far as I know. It's like, it's her attorneys, but she's right. And then there was another time that she said that she had talked to her attorneys, and I was like, I looked at the clock and I'm like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, like what? And then there was another time that she was able to get in touch with them on a holiday, and also it's always on a Sunday. On Sundays, which right, Allie, it's possible. But it's unlikely. And she's like, I have a personal line to them and they are working with, like, I don't know. If I was an attorney, I don't think I'd take that case. I mean, I don't really know much about that stuff, but, to take on YouTube and harassment, like, that's so broad. And like, they're like people who her haters, quote unquote, and harassers, quote unquote, live all over the world. I actually have clips of her saying this out of her own mouth. And I'm going to put up I had a video about it. I will repost it, so people hear it out of her own damn mouth, because she's been talking about it for a while prior to this fund. She said that, that people are all over the world. They're in different states with different jurisdictions. For her to take on, everybody that's like harassing her, quote unquote, it would be millions of dollars, or not millions. I don't really know how much it would be, but it'd be very expensive. And she said that she would make an example out of one person or whatever. I'm not really sure who that one person would be. I almost thought that she was trying to gauge who she could get money from, but now she says it's not about money. She just wants to take everybody down with her. Well, okay, that might be true. So to her subscribers that have heard that, she said that, if she's going to go down, she wants every other creator that is broken terms of service to go down with her. So guys, she just admitted she broke terms of service. So if you break terms of service, you could lose your channel. So why is this my fault or anybody else's fault on here? You need 30K. Really, girl next door. So she doesn't have 30K subs on any of her channel or any of her prior channels. Right. And I thought Loving Life, I thought the lawyers took 2 strikes off her channels. I think all of these are just concocted stories to kind of give her story validity and, to keep people off her trail. Because if I was somebody who donated to that, I would be asking questions at this point. At this point, I think she planned this and she knew that she would be able to draw this out. This was in October? So she still has not said anything. Nobody I know, I actually know somebody who did email, who donated actually a fair amount of money. I'm not going to say who it is, and emailed her and did not get a response back because she had one point said, if you donated and you want to know, I'll tell you privately. Nobody responded to her email. And she donated quite a bit of money. I did not donate, but, so that's why I found somebody who did to ask. And, she didn't tell her anything. And I think that she's just drawing it out. And I don't know how people aren't seeing that. I would feel violated if that was me. If I had donated to that, I would feel violated. Now, if it was even if it was a couple dollars, actually, 100K to even be considered really that girl. See, I'm not familiar with YouTube. YouTube is not my platform of expertise, although I'm learning. And yeah, that's interesting because, she knows that her demographic. So I don't mean to, I have a similar demographic of my audience. So I want to be very clear that this is no way a jab at anybody's age or anything like that. Because I understand that there's people that are more tech savvy than I am that are in their 70s. My dad is one of them. So, I can't say anything about that, but her audience is, if I had to guess, would be mostly between the ages of I'd say 45 and mid to late 60s. And she knows that many of them, and it's not really creators, so many of them don't know the ropes of YouTube, and anything she talks about, with some authority about YouTube, they're going to believe that. Even I believed it for a while because I don't know how it works. And then some of the things she started saying didn't add up to me. And I started red flags. Hold on, wait. I think her attorney is one of her subs is a washed up attorney in real life. You might be right on that. I actually considered that. I was thinking about that as well. She does have some subscribers, and she went on this whole rant about how her subscribers aren't these uneducated. And I think that's fair. I don't think her subscribers are, because you don't know, are uneducated, hillbillies. I don't think that. I think that there are probably some very, well-educated or, have really high-up professional jobs. I'm sure there are. No, I never heard anybody say that about her subscribers. But she likes to make it seem like we make them out to be stupid or, less than. And I think that's another manipulative tactic to encourage those donations and hatred towards this side. When I've never heard it, because I've never said that. Yeah, right. Well, LA, that's an interesting point because, it's almost like, she says that she knows the police there personally and, they, it's like they have their phone number. And I don't believe for a second that half the stuff that she says happens. I think a lot of that is made up. I think a lot of that is very, very fabricated in order to get responses because it's something new every night. I mean, the whole story with the door didn't make sense. What I'm waiting for is some of the mods that had ex-mods who had participated in those little shenanigans and, stories. I'm waiting for them to come out and say, yeah, I knew about this. She told me to say X, Y, or Z because I'm sure it's coming, especially if she's not here anymore. I'm sure more people are going to come forward. Because I understand why people wouldn't want to speak out against her because she can be quite nasty. And if she's not nasty, a lot of her subscribers are very unpleasant people. Clearly, apparently we're the miserable ones, or I'm miserable in my home life. So that's why I'm on YouTube. Well, sweetheart, that's not why I'm on YouTube. I've actually had this channel since 2011. I just never did anything with it except upload stuff for family, like concert footage and guitar things, which I've taken most of that down. But Social Blade, right. Well, right. She's never hit 30,000 as far as I know. She called the call. Yeah, exactly. And Allie, you're right. And she likes to try to justify all of that. It would be public record on that. There would be all of her stories. I would say 97% of them are not true. I'm sure, everybody has some misfortune in their life, but I'd be willing to bet that she yeah. And then there was actually in the thing with the Amber Heard trial today, one of the other things is that, you know, these people with those types of personality disorders will offer up like almost like half truths about themselves. They'll acknowledge some of their flaws to make themselves seem more relatable when it's like stuff that they know that other people will forgive. And she does that a lot, I noticed. Like she'll say, you know, well, I'm not perfect, I've done this, and it's something stupid. It's almost like, you know, people that almost like validates that she's being honest in people's eyes. And I think a lot of that was used with the Christmas gifts. I think that people did get gifts from her. I do. I think that she probably took a hefty chunk off of that, off the top of it. I can't prove it. But I would be willing to bet that people did not get their, you know, she did not spend all of that money on other people, but she does things like that from time to time. And like with Country Joe and paying for the teeth, which I think, you know, God bless SA for, you know, paying that for Country Joe. And I know Country Joe is, you know, worked that out with her, but, you know, because all that was either a manipulation tactic or control, or it was one of those random acts of kindness that she does to kind of throw people off. Because I literally saw people in chat saying, "Would a scammer wouldn't do that? A scammer would never part with money, you know, for somebody else." That's bullshit. That's exactly what a scammer would do. I expect that behavior from a scammer. A scammer would absolutely do stuff like that to kind of validate what they're doing, and throw people off, because that's what people usually think. And she knows that she's very good at what she does, but she's getting sloppy and she's getting greedy. And that is why this is happening. Dorothy is a whole other story, which I am so glad. I don't know if any of you guys watched Broken Justice. So Broken Justice is a creator that Dorothy has brutalized, like made up the most nasty lies about, that I even believed at a time, about before I knew Dorothy and knew that, you know, stuff that she talks about is often lies. But some of the most brutal, damaging lies, and for quite some time have been at Broken Justice. And Broken Justice had never, as far as I know, really addressed it. But last night she went on her channel and she addressed it. And I think she did a great job. And I was really happy to see a lot of people there supporting her, because I am so glad to see more people coming out with that. Because Dorothy's hurt a lot of people, guys. The focus is usually on Natasha, but Dorothy is, you know, done her fair share of stuff on her, you know, time on YouTube. And I got to, you know, learn about that firsthand. Because I was on Gen X's panel, and there were like a whole bunch of ladies that I've never met before who also had bad experiences with Dorothy. And yeah, Broken Justice, like, you know, her story, it was very heartbreaking. You know, she didn't deserve that. And Dorothy made up some serious allegations against her that, you know, were, you know, that it was slander. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, like, you know, if she wanted to, you know, go to court about that, I mean, I think she'd probably have a case, but obviously that's expensive. Because you can't just come on here and make up lies that defame somebody's character. And I always try to say I'm speculating or in my opinion if I don't know for sure. I do really try to do that. Do I always succeed? No. But if I'm speculating and I don't know for a fact, I really do try to say that. And yes, I you know, R.I.P. her dog. I feel bad her dog died too. I mean, I love my dogs. I'd be devastated. You know, and Natasha didn't give a shit about that. Natasha could care less that her dog died. Natasha, you know, was just going on and on and on because it's all about Natasha. You know, nobody else's feelings matter. I was getting really angry for Country Joe on one of those panels because Country Joe was trying to say that, yeah, you know, I've experienced a lot of, you know, hatred on YouTube as well. And, you know, trying to, you know, I don't not make, you know, Natasha feel better, but just say, yeah, I get it. Like, I can relate. I understand. And Natasha, of course, was like, nobody understands. Nobody gets the amount of hate that I do. There are murderers that get more hate, you know, less hate than I do. I'm like, sweetheart, I don't think that's very true. I think, you know, a lot of murderers, you know, get a lot more hate than you do. But, you know, that says something. You know, she is just there is a personality disorder there going on, in my opinion. You can't change my mind on it. There is something very wrong with Natasha. She has something's not right. But yeah, with right, Natasha, no one's had it worse than me. The pity party, like, you know, I almost like think of it, you know, like, you know, Emma's turning 1. Like, come join us for a party, like an invitation. Natashacooper is having a pity party, and you're invited. You know, and it's always a pity party. It's always woe is me, and nobody has it this bad and everybody is doing this to me and I had no fault in this. I was just on my channel minding my business, doing my content that I worked so hard on, when, reality, this woman is sitting in a chair, running her mouth and yelling, and half of her lives are mostly silence. I used to find it infuriating having to do clips from that because I would like hit the, actually, if you watched last night's with Dorothy, I kept hitting like the skip ahead 10 seconds. And I was like, I kept hitting the button and it was silent, 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 silence. Like she doesn't even talk in half of it. She's just sitting there looking at her phone. Yeah, she does have some cult leader behaviors. And I know that people get upset about that. They're like, oh, it's not a cult. Well, a cult doesn't have to be like some weird, alien death pact, that thinks a spaceship's coming for them. No, that's how the media portrays that stuff. But a cult is behaviors and a dynamic. And that's a word that describes it. It doesn't have to be like some extremist thing. And what her, her dynamic that she has going on that channel is very cult-like. I'm sorry, it is. And I actually did a video on that as well. But she had Mac Burger. She's very good at manipulation. And, I just feel like, I feel bad for a lot of the people that she's hurt, that she just keeps popping up and she just won't go away. And a lot of people are much happier, now that she's not here. And, if she's really gone, if she goes like away, like, am I going to talk about her forever? Of course not. I'm going to, there's other people that I could go on and on, for a very long time about. I mean, my patience with Kelly the Advocate is very thin. That woman is a liability, and in my opinion, and I don't appreciate a lot of the things that she's contributed to this community. There are some other people that have done some stuff recently that I'm not only disappointed in, but really concerned about. I actually was a lot of puzzle pieces went off in my head today, putting some stuff together that I had not put together yet. Now, I'm not going to share that right now, but if what I think is going on, that is a problem. And, I need to figure out the best way to address that. But that's not, but like I said, guys, I do know who made that phone call. I do. And I will be talking about that because that person, I just need to make sure I know her current screen name. I think this woman changed it. And I need to make sure it's this woman before I say so. So I'm actually going to contact a few people after this live and see if I can confirm that. The voice sounds identical, so that I really don't have a doubt in my mind that it's the same woman. But I haven't seen her on camera since probably December. So yeah, and she does like to make phone calls. So this woman, I believe, is responsible for calling many, many things on people, just so people know. And I'm going to expose that as well. Because people like that need to be exposed, and they can't be doing that stuff anymore. That's going real life. That's going real life. And this is a Natasha person. So I mean, they could, I've seen them in Dorothy's chat too. And they did mention Dorothy in the message. However, this person was a regular up on Natasha's panel for quite some time. And then I think she changed her name. I just need to confirm that. You're right. I'm not an accusation like that. If I don't have absolute proof, I will not disclose it on here. No, that girl, I'm absolutely. The thing about it though is that I do have a name from phone records, and it was an actual number, which I'm actually really surprised that they would use an actual number that links to a name. I would think they would use an app. I was almost expecting that, but I did get the phone records, and it does match a Texas number. And it links to somebody whose name I have to confirm it though. I've been a busy detective, let me tell you, or true crime detective. Yes, that's right. Natasha likes attention in any way she can get it, Paige. Yep. Any attention is good attention. That girl, I understand. And that's actually why I haven't said anything yet. Because I don't want to make that accusation if it's not true. That's a serious accusation. And I would not do that without absolute proof, but I'm working on it. I just wanted to let people know that I do have a good idea of it. I did share the voicemail with a few people that have been in the community for a while. They kind of pointed me in the right direction. I've listened to clips. I have clips of this person from when I was doing screen recordings. It sounds very similar to the woman. Yeah, trust me. Yeah, Texas. Yep, Texas. Around the Dallas area. Did you change your name? Oh, I can't. wait, is that Lil Bit or is that Lil Giblet? Is that a different person? This is your alt account. Okay. Oh, you're new here. Okay, well, welcome. We do have somebody in the community named Lil Bit, and I thought that maybe you would change your name there. And I was like, I always appreciate Lil Bit, and that girl, you as well, because when I at you guys in chat, it's so easy to type, and I love it. Because some people have these really complicated names that like I want to respond and say hello to them, but like I'm like I don't even know where to begin, like writing your name on here. But yeah. Well, I think some people have figured it out. I'm not, like I said, I can't make any accusation. I just wanted to let people know that I know, because I know a lot of people were concerned. And I will also say that, you know, if you think that you've received a call or somebody has contacted law enforcement in your local area, or more specifically, this person, government services, if you think you've received a call, I mean, feel free to reach out to me with an email, because this person very well might be behind that as well. Yeah. So, but that's not even the puzzle piece. It's like the longer I've been in this community, the more fuckery I'm seeing. And let me tell you guys, I am just appalled with some people's behaviors on here. I thought better of a lot of people. I even thought better of Natasha at one point, or Dorothy. You know, people warned me about Dorothy. Lots of people warned me about Dorothy. A lot of people were like, you know, you should be very careful with her. Like, you know, this is the stuff that she does. And I was like, no, you know, it's fine. You know, I hadn't seen that. And then that one weekend where she went off on that awful thing about Jess. And then I think one of the last days, and that was the one she did about the salty bitch. I was like, oh my God, I need to get out of this immediately. Like, I don't know what to do. But it was bad. But there are other people in this community that are problematic and need to get called out and need to be exposed as well. So, you know, if Natasha ends up disappearing tomorrow and we never hear or see from her, like, or, you know, I'll have plenty of content alone, you know, just with the people here alone. Like, I have no fear about that. So, you know, feel free to leave, Natasha. I don't need you. Nobody here needs you. A lot of people here would be really relieved and happy if you weren't here, you know, terrorizing people. Yeah, I never realized people behave like this either, Caffeinated Slug. And it's like, you know, these are people in their 40s, 50s, 60s. Some of these are people's grandmothers. And here they are on the internet, you know, with like, you know, the most vulgar things that I'm hearing. And that's what made me feel comfortable kind of being myself on here, because I'm listening on people's panels, and, you know, there are people that have an awful mouth. And, you know, fuck is my favorite word, I'm telling you. But it was just absolutely appalling. And I'm like, you know what? If people are comfortable doing that, I'm comfortable doing it. I don't care. Yeah, Blinders. I mean, East Eden, it took me a while to see things clearly in here. But now that I've kind of taken a step away and I'm looking at the big picture, let me tell you guys, there is some fuckery afoot in here. There is some serious fuckery that I am determined to get to the bottom to. I really am. Because things are not as they seem. And I think people's true colors are starting to come out. And I think some people are starting to slip. And now that Natasha's like not in the limelight all the time, I think that people can focus in on that. And I think that there's going to be some bombshells coming very soon on a couple things. But, you know, we'll see. Will I be one of the one? I might get to drop my first one soon. Spooky, I think your name is so fun. Like, it's upside down. Yeah, you can't trust. I don't trust people. I trust very few people. There are a few people here that like I feel that I know well enough to know their MO, and like I know what to expect from them. And on that case, that I'm okay with that. But I would never tell people things that I don't expect to be repeated, honestly. I mean, I hope they wouldn't be. I like to think that my, you know, communications with people would be private, but, you know, if they're not, they're not. Oh, genetic code. I heard that whole thing. Do you know how uncomfortable I was during that one? That one was disgusting. And what she said about her daughter too, not okay at all. At all. That one was really gross. Really gross too. So there have been a lot of tirades, Dorothy, and Dorothy will go low. And when she's in that place where she's like, you know, give zero, and she will go with anything as fact. Like if I was to let's actually, you know what? She still hates Granny's watching. So let's say I was to go to her tomorrow and say, you know, Granny's watching, you know, killed somebody. Obviously, guys, not true at all. Just using, she would go with it. She would take that information and she would schedule a live immediately. And she would be like, oh my God, this is fact, so I heard from a very reliable source that, this is a thing, and oh my God, she would. And the other thing that she would do, and I don't know, I feel like other people heard this. I don't think this is something that she would always say that there was somebody really close to Granny's watching that was feeding her information. Now, I don't know who that person was. I don't know if she made that person up. I think she probably made that person up. But she always used to like to throw that around too. Like it like somehow validated what she was saying as true because this person that's supposedly very close to her was, talking to her and feeding her information or something. I don't know. And I was like, oh my God, like, and people do, they'll be like, okay, well, I mean, maybe an ex-mod is, giving her information about her, which I don't think is the case at all. I think she just makes up half the shit she says. Or she'll, yeah, right. But I mean, I don't know if anybody caught what she was talking about with Jessica with a K. I don't know that community very well. So I really didn't recognize a lot of the names that she was dropping in that. And I was very confused, but apparently what she was saying was very inaccurate from, what I saw the next day from people who are in that community. So I thought that was interesting. And apparently she didn't vet that at all. I know DeviantArt. I actually find a lot of the artwork that I use for thumbnails, which I should credit the artist. I need to work on that. I do need to work on that. That's something I really should do. Because yeah. Hold on a second. Let me read here. Yeah, I'm a guitarist, guys. I will play music for you guys at some point. I am a musician. I play guitar, bass, piano. I can read music. I cannot sing, but I will try. I can certainly try to sing. But yeah, there's some, that's content, right? She'd name it juicy. Yeah, juicy information not meant for your eyes. I clicked on it and I was listening to it. And first of all, I thought she was talking about Granny's watching. In some of it. And I was like, because she was saying Granny. I didn't realize there was another person that goes by Granny or something on here. I'm, like I said, not familiar with that community. So I have no thoughts on it. But apparently a lot of it was not vetted, was not correct. And then she was saying something because, of course, Natasha had somebody come into the chat yesterday that quote unquote had a picture of her mother. I don't believe that that's real at all. I think that that's somebody that either she is sending herself or that, she has somebody do for her. I also believe that Dorothy has many alts, and a lot of those alts, and her name, I think I've identified a few of them. And I also noticed that those people go into chats now to start shit, to give, something to talk about. But anyways, someone came in to, thank you, Carol. I disliked my voice very much until very recently, when I would listen to my lives back. And I'm like, you know what? It's not as bad as I remember, from hearing stuff. But, she was saying that somebody went in with her mom's picture and was being rude or something. I don't know. But and Dorothy was like, oh, that's disgusting. I would never do that. That is just the lowest of the low. We don't do that. Says the woman who talks about making accounts with, Granny's Watching's kids. I'm sorry, that's disgusting. And you would never stoop that low. I'm still convinced that, you quite possibly could have been behind, the one of mine. Which I am not public about on here for a very good reason. I do mention in chat, and I probably shouldn't. But I did lock down all of my social media. Like, as far as anybody else is going to see on here, I don't have, like, any, But, yeah, somebody was doing that with my family member as well, who is a minor. And I'm not convinced. And it was funny, not funny, but, like, I had seen it earlier that day, and I reached out to some people privately, and I was like, I got a screenshot of this, and then it came out later, like when CJ was on that panel, and they said, they got down to it, and got her to kind of admit to that. As far as I know, that was her being honest, because she wouldn't have freaked out like that otherwise, and she was screeching and ranting. It made me very uncomfortable. I had to turn the volume down. Yes, Snorthy, exactly. And I need to rewrite a song about Dorothy and with Natasha, because I like that Country Joe rewrites songs. I actually do that for people, except putting their dogs into songs, like usually like hip hop or like pop songs. It's kind of a thing of mine. So I need to collab with CJ and do that. Welcome back, Mrs. Portland. But I think that like a lot of people are opening their eyes to the stuff that goes on here, and they see that these people are not honest. Like Dorothy just does mean, malicious things. I think Natasha's more upfront about that, but Natasha's sneaky, but in a different way. Dorothy's motive is, I think she's just evil. And Natasha's motive is money. Natasha has it down to me too, Gen X. Me too. Yep, we had that conversation today. I was like, Instagram, TikTok, you lock it down. Lock it down. They don't have a Facebook, so I don't have to worry about that. But TikTok, Instagram, any of that, shut it down. Like we need to make sure that that's not going to happen, because that no, don't you're not going to poke the mama bear. You don't want to do that. So. And I think that, Natasha has it down to a science, how to manipulate people, how to get people. And a lot of the stuff I feel like she researches, because I do research a lot of things. I like to learn how to communicate effectively. I do marketing, I do business. So I kind of have to, I have to figure out how to do that. But she is good. Like, she knows how to get emotions out of people, and that emotion turns people to open up their wallets and give. And you'll notice that because she'll be like crying and quote unquote crying, and she'll go on there and, all of a sudden, some of the mods will be like, if you want to make Natasha feel better, here's her wish list. And it's like people have equated, you buy Natasha things, then Natasha cheers up, and that's what people want, because they don't want to listen to a live of her crying all the time. I turned it off yesterday. I'm like, this is boring as fuck. Yesterday, live with her and Dorothy yesterday was one of the most boring things I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, Tucker, she is a seasoned con artist, and hi Holly, I'm happy to see you here. And yeah, so there's a lot of just nonsense and stuff, and I think that a lot of people would be happy if she just left, but I don't think she's gonna go without a fight. Do I think she's going to get her channels back? I mean, she might, but as time goes on, I am thinking more and more that this might be, she might have finally crossed that line, or, hit that up. Although apparently I need to look into it. Apparently, when they do that, it's like a ban on a certain amount of time. I'm not sure how that works. I don't know if somebody can clarify. So, I mean, there's a possibility she could come back after like 6 months or whatever. I do know that there are other people that have been banned that are now back under different names. So I'm not really sure how that works. I don't plan on ever doing anything that, gets me kicked off, because it's hard to get kicked off social media, guys. Like the fact that she's been kicked off of Facebook because of quote unquote mass reporting from haters, because that's exactly what she said about Facebook too 2 years ago. So, I mean, that's a pattern, right? Why does all this, happen to her constantly? I mean, and it's hard to get kicked off of all of the, so she has to be doing something that isn't okay, because otherwise you would see more people getting kicked off. It's not about other people. It's about her. She's the problem. I don't understand what else has to happen for her to realize that she is the problem here. This is her own behavior. And, all she's doing is, because there are a lot of upset people that, would go to her channel every night for the community. That is very true. But what she's doing is taking these people that are already upset and pouring gasoline on a fire to put the hatred down this way. She is not going without a fight and without doing as much damage as she can with everybody else. She's one of those people. She doesn't care if she's going into YouTube to die, her channel to die, but she's going to kill as many as she can with her. As she doesn't care. That's her plan. And she'll use other people to do it. She'll do it herself. I think what she's hoping is that, people but I don't think she understands. Well, she does understand. She's very good at mobilizing her audience. I'd be willing to bet my bottom dollar that Kim and Crafton, Granny's Watching, and others have been mass reported by now. And obviously it hasn't done anything, because that's not how this works. And people don't seem to understand that. But, some of my videos got flagged. After everything that happened with Dorothy, I had a whole bunch of people come in and they would thumbs down my videos. I had never had that many people come in and thumbs down my videos until that happened. So, I mean, I do think the two were correlated. And I realized that a lot of the people that are on her channel, like mods who act like they're like really sweet, nice people, they're not sweet, nice people. At all. There are some that I don't dislike. But oh my God, when I've been watching, and some of those people are not nice people. They're just not. And at first I was like, I don't know if any of Dorothy's people would come over and do that. No doubt in my mind, that they're the ones that are coming over here. They're the ones that were kind of trying to make me give up, honestly. And they almost did. They almost succeeded. I almost gave up. And Dorothy's convinced she built my channel too. But, like I said, guys, until like a couple days ago, I hadn't grown at all in almost 2 months. I was just above 500 subscribers, and I was just losing subscribers every single day. And now I am up to about 850. And so I'm 150 off from, hitting that 1,000. So yet again, I'm going to keep saying this, and I know Natasha's like, I don't have to beg people to subscribe. Well, maybe I do. So I'm going to do that. I'm not begging. But I'm saying if you want to hit that subscribe button, I'd appreciate it. And if you've already subscribed and you haven't hit that like button, that helps me get out into that algorithm. And I appreciate it, each and every one of you. So basically this has happened on like the past couple days. So I'm really excited about that. And I think it's because I finally admitted to myself that, I will do drama. I don't have a problem doing this. None of this is, selling my integrity or anything like that. I am very comfortable with what I'm doing. I'm very comfortable where I am. And I'm not doing anything that I'm not proud of. But I had to admit it. I was like, I don't want to admit that. So I'm separating it, and I will get that link out that works for my true crime channel soon. I've been kind of prioritizing some other stuff lately, but I am going to do that. And so if people, I know that it's not going to get as big of a subscriber count, and I'm not really worried about that on that one, but that's going to be the channel where I am going to have like special guests, like my dad. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he still wants to come on. I can't promise anything. He has been, it was violating to have what happened happen. So I hope that he's not gonna, I hope he will. I do. But he might not. But he was going to help me get guests on here, and I don't know if that's going to still happen because of, people on here that, want to go real life and, involve people that don't need to be involved. Like, and I when all is said and done and all of this is over with, I am going to play that voicemail because it's actually kind of funny. They called Dorothy elderly, which, I found kind of funny because I don't think she's elderly at all, but like they were like, your daughter is harassing a sick elderly woman on YouTube. I was like, okay, sure I am. And you must be so embarrassed to, have to, be associated with her on here, and a couple other things that were just nonsense. But yeah, obviously it wasn't the content of the message that was a problem. It was just the fact that it was, they called it all. That's all. So, I saw somebody that is new as well. So I wanted to say welcome to everybody who's new. Cowboy 57. So welcome. Yeah, I don't think 50s is elderly at all. I mean, not my words. 40 is the new 20, right, guys? So age is just a number. My parents are in their 70s and they're in great shape. You would never know. But yeah, it's just a number. So that was the word that they used. I think it was for dramatic emphasis that I'm somehow targeting somebody who is not well, which, mentally Dorothy might not be well. And I know she has health problems, but she's not elderly. I think somebody said she was in her early 50s. Holly, but like I said, 40 is the new 20, guys. I'm not so far off from 40. So, I'm not judging. I feel like I have no way of knowing people. Well, I do kind of. I can look at my analytics, but just talking to people, I don't know how old a lot of you guys are. A lot of you guys don't have photos, and I can't see your photos if you do, because my eyes are terrible. So as far as I know, I'm just talking with friends. I'm talking with my peers. I think that's actually a really cool thing about YouTube is that I have no idea who anybody is. But yes, hold on a second. I have ADD, so like anything that like Gen X is having a panel and it's called like for ADD stuff and it's called Squirrel, and I couldn't describe it better myself. I'm always like squirrel and then I'll go in a different direction. So I apologize for talking fast. I'm going to get better at this. I'm going to get more organized at this. You'll be 50 this year. Yeah, I just found out that I have arthritis in my hips. So I was like, I got a call from my doctor today that says I have arthritis in my left hip. I did dislocate it back in like 2000, maybe 11. So I did Gen X, and that's fine. No, I don't think I do, for some reason, which is why I need to address that. But, I think it's okay. I'm not going to be on here much longer. I might have somebody in here. I'm not sure. Most people are being very respectful though, so I'm not worried about it. But thank you for, coming in and modding. I appreciate that. I am gonna probably get some more mods. I'm gonna need them. So if anybody is interested in modding for me, you can certainly email me. I can't promise that, I am kind of selective with who I pick, just because I have to be on here. But honestly, yeah, please feel free to email me, because I honestly only had one mod for a lot of time, and then I had two, and now I have a few, but a lot of them have their own channels and have their own stuff going on, so I can't always expect them to be here. Which is fine, because people have lives, and I totally totally get that. And I've never been a mod before, and I think Dorothy offered me a wrench, and I was like, no. Or I think what she said was, I'll be, to be fair, she said, I'm not a good look right now. And I mean, she's right. It's not a good look. I do have to be selective. You're right. And I am. It's nothing personal. But I do know there are some people that I have in mind. I just don't know how to reach them. Because I don't have their emails, and I've kind of been like fingers crossed that they reach out to me. But so we'll see. I am going to get some more mods, because I do feel like, if my channel keeps growing, I'm going to have, a larger chat, but we're going to have some fun here. Dorothy lied about her age? Really? That's interesting. I mean, as far as I knew, I didn't realize she was 50. Not that it matters. I mean, who knows? I don't know how old a lot of people are. I know I'm young for this community. I know that there are not a whole lot of people much younger than me in here. I know that for a fact. I do know that there are, there's a fair amount of people my age. I think a lot of the creators that are around now are more or less around my age. I know this sounds creepy for me saying it, but I only know this because, I was there for people's birthdays this year. I think Jess is four days younger than me. And I only know that because, I was here for her birthday on here, and I was like, I just had a birthday. Dorothy's 51. I think she just had a birthday too. Thanks for stopping by, that girl. And again, I apologize for being kind of cranky with you the other day. I did not understand what you had said, and I was in a mood. And I did not mean to snap at you, and I apologize. You're a very, very nice person. So I have no animosity towards you whatsoever at all. I am wise for my age. I always hung out. I was bullied relentlessly in elementary school. So I basically spent my entire childhood basically relating with adults, because those were the people I socialized with, because I did not get along with the kids my age. I was very bullied, and it stunted me socially for a while, but obviously I've recovered from all of that. But I've always related more with adults or people older than me. And that's definitely, I've brought that into adulthood. Did I miss an alternate? I do have another channel. It is called True Crime Detective with like a dash in it, I think. But I am going to post the link to it, and I promise this time the link will work. I haven't posted on it yet, but I'm going to play around with different, I'm a Sagittarius too. I'm going to play around with a bunch of the, different formats of content, but it's true crime. It's true crime, and it's going to be like psychology, sociology type stuff, maybe with some, business marketing stuff thrown in there just for fun, because, some of that's interesting. Like I said, some people really need to know what analytics are, because if they understood what analytics were, they would realize that nobody's hacking them or stalking them. It's something that YouTube provides for free. And if you buy advertising space on YouTube, you even get a further bunch of analytics, including people's income. So, or reported income. I don't know how it works. I don't know how they get that information, to be honest, but that was what was in my textbook. So I'll take their word for it, because it is updated for 2022. But yeah, right. And Rose, you know what I learned? Well, I mean, on here, I'll speak for it. What I've learned on here is that no matter, like, if somebody comes at you and they slander you, you could, hey, Mandy, you could, like, scream from the rooftop, try to defend yourself. You could like be like, oh, that's not true. You could go on and on. But once somebody says it, like somebody like Dorothy, or Natasha, people believe it. And no matter how much you scream and try to correct it, the damage is done. The people who know you, the people who are there for you, they'll understand, and they'll be like, whatever. But, there are, those people that are the diehard followers, the damage is done, and they're just going to believe whatever Dorothy says is fact. And Dorothy has slandered many, many people on here at this point, more people than I probably even know about. So unfortunately she does have like a small following, but a lot of her people in there right now are Natasha people. And I find that very interesting. I feel like a lot of her people that were there prior have kind of moved on. And I think what happened to me and Juror and, you know, actually Mandy, you as well. And I hated the way she was gaslighting you, and trying to discredit you, because that wasn't fair. That was immediately what she goes to, though. She was trying to discredit me the other day, saying that I'm crazy and that, you know, I'm the one who's lying and that I'm, you know, unhinged or whatever. And I'm just like, I just have to laugh, and I don't even listen to half of it, but yeah, because I mean, she's clearly she's the one who sounds unhinged. It's not me. I have no reason to lie about that. I like to think I have some credibility here. So, you know, whatever. But her people do believe it, and they will come after you. And don't even bother trying to go in that chat to defend yourself. You'll get timed out or blocked, or defend anybody else. I know that some people have gone in and tried to defend me, and you know, she blocks them pretty fast. And then she timed me out when she was, you know, talking about me and lying. So I couldn't even defend myself. And then, you know, one of her mods that, you know, everybody thinks is super nice, and I think people can probably figure out which one, was just really flipped to like, you know, bitch mode, just really awful, laughing at me, you know. And I was like, you know, she's talking about, you know, things I've struggled with in my past, and you're putting laughing emojis in here like that. How is that funny? I would never laugh at someone's, you know, struggles with stuff like that. That's ridiculous. Johnny, let's not go with that, please. We're not gonna do that today. Yeah, no. I welcome everybody. Okay. And I don't think I have a mod in here, and I don't know how to delete things, so I apologize. Wait, no, we don't want to highlight it. So I'm going to let that go for right now. Please don't do that. Okay. I'm actually happy to see Mandy. I have no issue with Mandy at all. So, if that's a problem, then, you know, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Actually, you know what? I can go in here. I'm actually going to get off of here soon anyways. I just want to make it really clear, though, that I welcome everybody in here. I don't care if they are, you know, recently out of NC's camp. I really don't care. I give everybody a chance, especially if I don't have an experience with them, right? So, like, I can't, you know, judge somebody if I don't know them. Yeah, I see that. All I see, though, is that I can, what is it? Put them in timeout. I don't see a delete thing. I'm an idiot with this. I don't usually do this on here. So I apologize. I'm gonna figure out how to do it. I'm just really like ADD. I can't delete from StreamYard. Oh, okay. Let me go into that then. I hope people can still hear me. If you can't, I'm sorry if I just ruined this. Where did it go? I can do this. I swear I can see. I need glasses, guys. I really need to like admit to myself that I need glasses. Oh, it is different on here, looking in here. Oh, Rodigal, are you in here? I am so confused. I'm so sorry, guys. Am I in top chat? Live chat. Okay. I'm an idiot, guys. I'm so sorry. Bear with me here. Wait, I don't know how to what? Okay. Oh, okay. Bear with me, guys. Wait, how do I get into this? So if I go into here, okay. All right, okay. Let me get there. I think I got it. Okay. No, we're not gonna do that. That's gonna get you put in a timeout. Yep, and I'm gonna delete that. There we go. I figured it out. All right. I'm sorry, Mandy. I don't want to alienate anybody on here, because that is not fair. That is not what I am here to do. So I apologize. I can't see where the other one is, but I will continue to do that now that I know how to do that. Okay, I'm back now. All right, I'm learning. I'm fairly new here, so yeah. No, I got that. Oh, I'll search it. I'm gonna figure it out. I did put them in a timeout. I did delete that other thing if I have to, Yeah, guys, that's not what I want to do in here. Okay, I really don't. I really don't. That's not my thing. I'll talk about people I've had an experience with that's bad, but I need to get to know people. I do. I can't make a judgment on people otherwise, and I know that a lot of people don't like that. I've felt that way about a few people, and I've had to learn for myself. But some of the people I've been very pleasantly surprised, and I don't like judging people for their past. That we all have a past. I certainly have a past. Um, and that's just where I stand on that, and I stand strong with that. Thank you, Joanne. My videos take a really long time to make. So that's what I'm saying though. Like, yeah, that's the only nasty I've seen today too, Carol. Which is why I think I do need a few more mods, but I think that's why I haven't needed them thus far, because I don't get a whole lot of haters, and if I do, I deal with them myself. Because sometimes I feel like arguing with people, and sometimes I don't. When somebody comes in and tries to defend Natasha, sometimes we can have a conversation about it, but sometimes I'm just like, you know what, I'm not even going to bother because it's not worth my time. Because this person is clearly not going to change their mind based on what I say. And, they're in my chat listening to my live, giving me engagement and comments and views. And one of them, I even subscribe to me. And I'm like, if you really don't like my content that much, then I don't know why you're subscribed. But, I appreciate it, of course. I obviously I'm honored that anybody gives me the time of day. Yeah, Holly, I've already been found by those. Oh, you know why that is? I forgot to put this on subscribers only. Not that I necessarily need to. But yeah, I've gotten some of them. I actually got a link, guys, that I told you. It's only on videos where I'm talking about Dorothy, and a lot of them is just to regular adult content. But I got a link maybe 2 days ago that was to some content that was like illegal adult content. And I was like, I really wish there was an option to report this. But I just deleted it as fast as humanly possible, because I had never seen that before. And that's disturbing. I don't like that at all. I know a lot of people get comments like that, but I had never seen one for something that was illegal. And yeah. If people stop accepting that, across the board, they'll stop. Yeah. If you don't like somebody in my chat, then, I'm sorry, block each other, right? I'm not going to play into that. I mean, I'm going to talk about Natasha. I'm going to talk about Dorothy. There's a couple others that I have in mind to talk about that, are causing some issues in here, that I'm concerned about and disappointed. I mean, there are some people here that I genuinely liked. And recently I've been finding out that they're behind a bunch of stuff. And I mean, I'm going to address that at some point too. I just need to focus on certain creators at a time, or I'm going to go off on a tangent and it's not going to make sense and you're not going to know who I'm talking about. So just rest assured that I will be calling those people out too. Because I have to, because there are some people hitting some lows that I can't rock with. And I put some 2s and 2s together today. I connected some puzzle pieces, and guys, when I tell you there's fuckery afoot, there's fuckery afoot. And yeah, I need to get to the bottom of it with my detective skills. Because it's messed up. It's messed up. And, people on here, I just expect it. They're going to be nice to you. They're going to love bomb you. They're going to try to get information about you, not only about you, but, from you. And you, you do, Holly. And that's actually something I was talking about the other day. You do, if Natasha wants to say that everybody else is on here about money, you don't even keep the money, and you do it publicly. You show people that you're donating. It's not like you just say you're donating, she did with the Gabby Petito Foundation. You actually show people that you're donating and all of that. So I think that's a really, transparency is key. People want transparency. If you're not transparent, I mean, a lot of people take your word for it, but later on down the line, if you find out that person's lying, I suspect Natasha was about that. I mean, maybe she made a donation, but I don't think it was in the amount or as frequently as she said. Not even close. But you do. So you're not really making any, or you're not making any money at all off this, and you don't. I think that's awesome. Would I love to make some money on here? Sure, of course I would. I'm a full-time grad student, so yeah, I would love to, any extra income I can I can come across, I mean, I'm here for it. I know that AdSense doesn't pay much, like pennies, but you know, I'm, you know, if I get to 1,000, which I think I will, and I'm hopeful, I'm gonna have some fun with like the memberships and stuff, because I'm actually really good at designing things like that, with perks and things. Like I had a Patreon for quite some time. I had like over 300 people there back when I, you know, had a platform, and had a, you know, 129,000 on Instagram and elsewhere. I actually still have a platform on I'm not even going to tell people what it is, but it grows every day, and I haven't posted in 3 years. It makes no sense with where I have a couple thousand on each of those. But yeah, YouTube could be such a lovely place, but you know, people have made it really unsettling to a lot of people. And you know, unfortunately, it's stuff that really shouldn't happen. Like, we can do drama, we can go back and forth and be petty. I'll be a bitch to you all I want. I mean, I would love an outlet to just, you know, say how I really feel, and you know, tell people that they suck and that they need to stop. But we don't need to be like, you know, calling people's, you know, employers or their, you know, social services or anything like that. There's no need for that. Like, that's taking this to a level where people are afraid to do anything on here. And people are literally just like, you know, they don't want to get involved. And I think that, you know, I think that'll, I don't know if other communities have this problem. I have heard from people that are part of other communities that it's pretty bad here, to the point where it is a little bit unusual. I'm not sure. I never experienced anything like this on Instagram. I'll tell you that right now. But I was also not behind my own face. I was behind a brand, and like a logo. So nobody knew it was me. And I was never doxxed in my time there. And like I said, I thought people would stick around. So when my channel went down overnight, I woke up and I had been terminated. Yeah, yep. And I remember it broke my heart, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just, you know, reach out to the people that I've gotten close to personally, and I'll be like, hey, you know, this is my real identity. This is my real account. Like, let's keep talking. They wanted nothing to do with me, most of them. Because, you know, if you don't come with like that clout associating with you, a lot of people will desert you and move on to the next big thing. That's just how it is. And I think Natasha's seeing that sometimes. And when she said out of sight, out of mind, she's not wrong. And that is going to happen. And I think that reality is setting in. And I think that's why she, you know, is back on YouTube with that, because she said she didn't care if she was on YouTube. But I think she's seeing that she can't bring that following elsewhere. Not because people don't like her. I mean, a lot of people don't like her, but because her demographic doesn't want to move from YouTube to other platforms. They just don't. And a lot of people don't want to go on Facebook because of the fuckery that goes on. And I want to make it very clear, don't think that would have been any different if it was grannies watching over on Facebook. People would have been screenshotting people's names over there too. I think it would happen for anybody from this community. That's just what I think. But I do think it is setting in, and I think that's why she so desperately made a channel today. I think she's realizing that people are going to drift away. They're going to go to other channels, and she's seeing it. She's seeing them go to Kelly. She's seeing them go to Dorothy. She's even seeing them break off on their own and have success, which honestly, I wish Parker the best. I don't know Parker very well at all, actually. I've never interacted with Parker, but you know, if she wants to do a family channel, then you know, good for her. I wish her the best of luck. And you know, she doesn't owe anything to Natasha. It's her right to change the theme of her channel whenever that she damn pleases. And Natasha needs to get that through her head, but I know she doesn't like that. She doesn't like when anybody ventures off and has success at all. And God forbid you go live when she is. God forbid. Right. And Mandy, I think you're exactly right. That's the reason that she is tolerating it, is because she needs them to be, you know, to have a voice here. But that's not going to last forever. I mean, you know, it's not a good look. And I think even Dorothy seemed a little bit annoyed with having her yesterday, but I mean, I could be wrong. But yeah, Natasha has a channel that, right, exactly. If she comes back on here, and she will turn on them. That's just how she works. That's how she operates. And I don't even think she likes these people. And I don't think those people even like her, really. I just think it's like a mutual benefit right now, because they're getting her old subs and she's getting a place to rant and rave and bully and, you know, have that validation that she matters, which is really sad. And that's what she says about everybody else on here. But I think she's the one who's unhappy. She can say differently all she wants. And I do think she was trying to get rid of that makeup as fast as humanly possible yesterday, because I think she's afraid she's going to get stuck with it, which she might. And yeah, she needs to get like a reality check and realize that, she's not special. I mean, maybe other people don't have the charisma and whatever else that she has that draws people to her. Maybe other people don't have that. I don't know. Maybe I don't have it, but she's not better than anybody else. She's not, she didn't work. I mean, what did she work for? She sits in a recliner and yells at people all day and bullies and cons people for money. I mean, what did you work hard to do, Natasha, besides your con? I mean, it must be exhausting to have to keep up with all of that. But I mean, I make videos. Other people on here have made videos. Other people on here put effort and creativity into what they do. And some people just are able to, they're just personable, but they have something unique. And she doesn't have it. I'm not saying she doesn't do a good job at being charismatic, but she's not unique. She doesn't have this following that she thought she had that's going to follow her everywhere. She just doesn't. And if you want to look at her real numbers, look at when she does karaoke or when she was doing the makeup sales, because that's her real numbers. Those are between 150 and 250 people in there. And that is a good reflection of that. That is what's a good reflection of her actual numbers and engagement. When people aren't being dragged in that drama, people aren't going to show up. I learned that. That's why I separated my two channels. I'm not going to do, I'm going to do drama on this one, and I will do drama, as much as I damn please. And I will talk about Natasha as much as I damn please, as, same as everybody else. I don't care anymore. I really don't care. Hey, Tilly May. I just don't, because nobody else had that courtesy for me. So I will speak my mind. There's no benefit on here to trying to be neutral or trying to, not speak your mind. If you have an opinion, speak up. Speak up. Yeah. I used to just keep my name in the chat to give her yeah, right. Yeah, I know. I'm not surprised. I know that, I've heard that from other people actually, that, people would just go in there to give her that view for that, to validate it. And I actually think she might be buying views on some of those, not those ones, but her drama stuff. Cause there was not recently, but there was a point in time where she was pulling in 600-700 people in the chat, and it was out of the blue, and her sub count hadn't risen too much. I'm a numbers person, from somebody who does analytics. That's what I do for a living. It's what I go to school for. It didn't add up. It didn't make sense. And actually it was right after there was that whole debate on whether buying subs was okay and views and stuff. I truly believe she did that for a week or two. Because I don't think that she had 600-700 people in her chat when she's literally silent for half the time. She doesn't even talk. I would have to put a scroll through, and she's still silent. She's staring at her phone, or she has her boring panel guests up there. And I'm sorry, a lot of her panel guests are boring. I mean, I'm sorry. Some of them aren't. Some of them have been entertaining and fun. But a lot of them are boring, and some of them are just plain nasty. I'm doing a whole video of just her panel guests that have said some absolutely obscene things, and Natasha doesn't do a damn thing about it. Natasha just lets it go. She doesn't, try to redirect. She just lets them talk like that. And there have been some people that have said some really vile things. I am too, Christine. I mean, I don't really know Tia very well, or I don't think I've really watched her channel, but I was kind of yeah, she seems like a smart girl, and I was kind of surprised she stuck by that as well. Hold on. She wasn't giving any deals on this stuff. No. Rebellious Rose, that was a straight scam. I mean, I actually, Siren did a great video proving it, but I get Ipsy. So when the flash sale came up, I happened to be looking at the flash sale, and it was, it just was like fate had it that was the first time I had actually clicked on one of her makeup sales. And I was like, where did I just see that? And she was selling stuff that was there was a palette that she was selling for $20. That was part of a 5-piece bundle selling for $50. And she sold multiple items in that bundle. So there's no doubt in my mind that she spent $50 on these 5-piece bundles and sold them all for double what they're worth that she paid for it. And not that I just think that's sneaky. I think it's dishonest. And I think that people deserve to know that they could have gotten that same product elsewhere for cheaper. That's all. If people want to buy that, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it, but people really, they should know. And half of the time I'm not convinced that some of that's not knockoffs. and with skincare and makeup too. But with skincare, that's very concerning. Because a lot of the stuff that's knockoffs is very convincing, but it has ingredients that can be very harmful. I've seen that. I've actually gotten stuff on Amazon that I'm convinced is knockoffs, and I've had some bad reactions, and it's products that I've used for years. I don't actually buy makeup or, skincare or anything like that on Amazon anymore. So I'm not sure if she turns on a lot of people, and then she'll try to get them back at some point if she needs them for something. But, some people have, have seen through it, and they put their foot down. They're like, no more. But, some people do go back. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, she does have that charisma, and she can be charming. And I do think a lot of people use her for personal gain, which good. She uses other people for money. If people want to use her to build a channel, I have no problem with that. None, zero. Might as well, right? How does it feel to get used for that thing? I don't care about that. Everyone is a tool for her. Yep, she sees it as a chess game. She sees it as a everything is a transactional relationship. It is what can you do for her, and she will never reciprocate that. I have very rarely seen her go to bat for anybody at all if it doesn't benefit her, if at all. It is always about Natasha, and she expects you to be there whenever she needs you. And it's not mutual. I've noticed that a lot. And if you are not there at the exact moment that she needs you, you are suddenly the worst friend on the planet. You never cared about her. You were using her for whatever, but it's all a game of chess to her. It's very clear. It's all business moves. So, at first I was kind of annoyed that other people were, oh, hi, Siren. Tia said more than once that she thought it was okay, for people to go. Yeah, that's true. That is true. So that did happen. Yeah. Siren, I loved your video that you did about the makeup stuff, because you went into detail about that, and someone had to do it, and you put the work and time into it. So thank you for that. Right, Mandy. And she wants you to react immediately. And I've seen that as well. And not even from my experience, but I've talked to a lot of people that have been close with her and left. Right. She does. And she can say all she wants that she doesn't watch things. I know she does, because I have caught it in the background, and she doesn't even look up from her screen half the time. Everybody has a channel, Mandy, now. Everybody. I've had this channel since 2011. I just mostly posted my guitar videos and concert footage for family to share. I had never done anything with it, but then I was like, you know what? I want to make a channel. So I started doing clip videos, and now it's ended up to this. I haven't ever really been successful until now, which I'm happy about, but I think it's because I had to admit to myself that, drama is a valid genre, and I'm actually very happy to be here and be myself. Yeah, Mandy, there's a lot more. I am too, because I think people, deserve success on here. If you want to make a channel, go for it. I truly, but don't let Natasha take it over. Don't make it for her. Because it's not going to benefit you. That's the thing. I want to scream that from the rooftops. It's not going to benefit you. Dorothy as well. Dorothy will try to love bomb young female creators that she thinks that she can puppeteer in some way. And she tried it with me. The thing about it is that, the minute that I wasn't going to be the person that she wanted me to be or do the thing, she dropped me in the worst way possible. And that's what she does. That's what she does. And she schemes and she plots, and she can deny that all she wants. But, I know for a fact that she does. And I don't know if she's bored, but she will orchestrate drama. She will try to get you in on it. And she will say things like, well, we could really build your channel up. Why don't you go to this? And then you can say that. How did I come across Dorothy? Oh, that's a long story. Oh my God. I've done the last couple lives ranting about her. Well, basically, this is going to sound really bad. Basically, I have mommy issues, I guess. I don't have not that, and older women that have kind of been mentor figures in my life, I kind of, lean into. I'm drawn to almost. And I know that sounds really terrible. I don't have any better way of putting it. But I was new. I didn't know what I was doing, and she kind of took me under her wing and was trying to get me to basically join her to try to, take down Granny's watching. And I was like, no, I'm not the one to do that. I'm not going to do that. And it got to a point where like I didn't know how to get out of that. But thankfully, what she did was I had mentioned to her that I had struggled with substance abuse in the past, and some other personal information, and she decided that I was scheming against her, and then went on a live and told everybody that I made up having a substance abuse problem to get information from her to give to Kim and Crafton. Which, first of all, I had never told anybody on here that I, had a substance abuse problem. That was not something I planned to bring to YouTube. And then she was saying I was lying about it, and all of this ridiculous stuff, and she's still saying it. But I actually, I don't know if you know about the channel. It's called Gen X Enters the Room. She did a panel. It was called like Forest for the Trees is the title, but it's basically everybody Dorothy has fucked over, with the exception of a few people, and it was a whole panel about it. And I go into more detail, and a lot of people have talked about their issues because she has burned a lot of people. And I didn't like the way she did you. I actually recorded some of it because I was like, she's gaslighting you like so much, and she's trying to make you seem like you're crazy. And that you're the problem, and that you shouldn't have any credit. So nothing that you say should be listened to. That's what she's doing to me right now. She's trying to make people think that, she said the same thing, Mandy. She said that she would never confide anything in me, when I beg to differ, but that's fine. She can say that she's lost credibility. I mean, like, this is a pattern. I don't know how these people sleep at night, honestly. Like, and she does scheme. Like I said, when I look at people's motives, Natasha's motive is money. That's not Dorothy's motive. Dorothy is obsessed with numbers and YouTube. I think that that's, somebody who struggled with addiction. It's the same dopamine receptors that, that you like, that's what I think. I think that it stimulates that, and it's kind of an addiction for that. But I think that she is just mean spirited. I think she's told me that she enjoys this back and forth. She enjoys this, people coming at her and her getting the opportunity to go back. I think she thinks it is a game, and an outlet for her to be nasty. No, Mandy, I guarantee you, she probably wasn't joking. She did stuff like that with me as well. And, the thing about it though, is that people's children were in chats. Mine was, I try to avoid saying that. I try to avoid people even knowing, but okay, whatever. But, in a chat with a picture and name. And it was interesting because when Country Joe got her to admit that on that panel, I just that morning contacted a few people and been like, I got screenshots of this. This is messed up. So, I no doubt in my mind that she orchestrates stuff, and people can listen to me or you or anybody, but this many people, like, seriously, go watch that live. It's on Gen X Enters the Room. It's called like Forest from the Trees or something. It's probably a few lives back, and there's a whole panel of people that she's fucked over with very similar stories. So yeah, Dorothy, I liked her at first, honestly. I did. I liked her at first, and then all of a sudden she like went like off the deep end, and that was that whole weekend rant about Granny's watching, and then the salty bitch she dragged to, and it was nonstop. And I did text her that first day. I did. And I said, Dorothy, are you okay? You seem to be acting irrationally. I don't remember how I put it. She never texted me back, but I did text her that. I was like, is something going on? You've been live for like, 12 hours, and, you might maybe get some sleep or something. But, it was different. But she's kind of been going on these things frequently now, at other people's expense. So I'm really tired of that. What she does is dangerous though too, because she'll say things as fact, and it is not fact at all. She will, like I said, I could tell her, hypothetically that, somebody like, murdered somebody, and, she would immediately schedule a live to reveal that as like some information. I no doubt in my mind. I'm not sure if actually, somebody has tested that theory, and I can't remember who or what the situation was. Yeah, Mandy, I'm telling you, this is what I have kept to myself for so long. And that is one of the reasons why I'm not being silent about it anymore. And a lot of it doesn't make me look great, because I should have done more. And I've apologized. I have literally written, I apologize privately to Granny's watching and all of that, because I should have done more. I should have said something there and then and been like, hey, this is what's going on. I didn't participate in it. I didn't do any of that, but this is the stuff that she's saying. And if this is happening, then that's a problem. She can deny it all she wants, but it's just the truth. It's just the truth. And I guess it'll come to light eventually, or it won't, but absolutely, there's no doubt in my mind. And if people don't want to listen to me or you, maybe they'll listen to you, maybe, I don't know, but there's a lot of people she's burned. Oh yeah, Mindy. Yep. That's actually one of the people that was on her panel with me, on Gen X's panel. I had never met her before. She's quite lovely. I liked her. But it's yeah. And she has no problem doing it either. Like, I don't think Dorothy cares. I don't think Dorothy has a problem with it. I don't think she thinks it's wrong. I don't know if she truly believes that people are conspiring against her. I don't know. I had never spoken to Kim privately at that point. I had never spoken to Juror privately. I still have never spoken to Juror privately. And she is convinced that everybody is ganging up against her to take her down. Or it's a story she's concocted because she gets off on this. I don't know. It could be both. I have no idea. But it's awful. It's not okay. And it needs to stop. I'm glad people are speaking up. Broken Justice finally told her story last night on her channel about Dorothy. And Dorothy had made some really serious accusations against her. That, if that was somebody saying that about me, I mean, that's a problem. Accusing her of doxing and all sorts of other stuff that's really inappropriate. And yeah. So I'm glad people are speaking out because there's strength in numbers, and all of us can't be lying, right? If you don't want to, like I said, if you don't want to believe one person, I mean, maybe somebody else has more credibility to you. I don't know. But I have no reason to come on here, and I have no reason. Yeah, no doubt in my mind, Tucker. Yeah, that Country Joe was my hero that day. Let me tell you, she zero fucks given. She got that information from Dorothy, and I think that was the most honest Dorothy's been. She wouldn't have freaked out about it otherwise, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, I have no reason to come on here and I have nothing left for her to expose. I mean, she exposed that, and anything else I've already addressed, to kind of get ahead of things. But, anything else that she says is going to be lies. So she's been dragging me for a few days, and I'm not even going to listen to it because it's lies. And I don't want to hear lies about myself. Whatever. There were a few other things that I was afraid she was going to go. But I addressed it myself. I probably had like 15 people in my live at that point though. So I'm sure a lot of people didn't hear it. So it might seem like news if she decides to go that low, but Dorothy, I don't, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I mean, if you want me to go there, I mean, I'll go there, but I don't want to have to do that. Yeah. Hold on. Wait. I don't know what happened with that situation. I had never talked to Queen Bee before, but she seemed like a very lovely person. I'm not familiar with that community though, at all. The recovery coach, right? Right. And then, but to then say that I'm lying, that's one of the most shameful, embarrassing things in my life. That was not something I wanted to bring to YouTube because people, I didn't feel that was relevant or something I was ready to talk about. Like I said, guys, it took until this past July for me to forgive myself and admit that I'm a good person. I have hated myself. I'm not going to cry. For many years. You know what I mean? And I, that's not something I would lie about. I don't know anybody who would lie about something like that. It was wrong. A lot of stuff she's done is wrong. So, wait, yeah, Dorothy's just a liar, plain and simple. And I'm glad that there's people documenting it because she does like to go in the middle of the night. Hi, true crime analyst. She likes to be in there in the middle of the night and then she likes to delete it. And I literally sleep at night most of the time. So, I mean, I also take medicine that makes me sleep. So that's good. Otherwise, I would be up all night with everybody else. But I do need my sleep. So I was like, okay. Hey, T. Adams. I'm winding down here because I still have to eat dinner and everything. But I'm just she deletes it in the morning, and then I don't know, but there are people that are like side-eyeing me and sending like nasty emails, or they're like, oh my God, B, I'm so sorry for what she said. And I'm like, I have no idea what she said about me. And it's probably good that I don't. Honestly, I have a feeling I know where she might have gone with some things. And if she wants to go there, that was the other thing of personal information that I said to her. If she wants to go there, then go for it. Because I haven't always been the best person. I have not always been, the best person for the people in my life that I should have. The point is that I'm here now, and I've made up for that. If you know what, people know what I mean. Like I haven't, because people like to always go into, things about people's kids and their custody and all of that. And, fine. We're not all perfect people, but the point is that I've gotten my life together now. I'm not sober. I've been clean since 2017. And I'm just going to keep going with that. And I've gotten my life together. Like I said, I'm in grad school. I'm doing good. So I'm not ashamed of anything. Like everyone has a past, and I'm not going to justify it any further, but I can't imagine that, Dorothy is a perfect person in her past either. In fact, she's admitted to some very similar things, and I don't judge her for that at all. So, right. And Mandy, I know that you get that, because I'm obviously, people have, people talk a lot everywhere. So I obviously have heard about things, but I don't, that was what, like, I think you're in your late 20s now. Like this was me in my, late teens. Like I'm not that person anymore. Your frontal lobe of the brain doesn't develop, and mine didn't until my late 20s. So, right. And I feel like I do have to justify it. I probably shouldn't, because I think I just dig myself a grave. But I appreciate everybody's support on here, honestly. Are you perfect, T. Adams? Okay, I can agree with that. You've always been very nice and level-headed, so I'll give you that. Yeah, so I'm 33, so, it took a while for me to... guys, I was in programs for troubled teens when I was growing up. I was in programs from age 14 to 17. Like I've had my fair share of issues. I've talked about it. I was at a wilderness program, and then I was at, therapeutic boarding schools for the rest of my, school existence. So this isn't new for me, but this is definitely the best that I've done ever. And I think that shows, and I don't plan to ever go back to those places. I don't know who that person is. So, we all change. We've all done things we regret. Some of us worse things than others, but yeah, none of us just need to justify any of that. It's all based on our behaviors on here. And that's all I'll ever judge people on, is their behavior on YouTube. So if you want to be a piece of shit on YouTube, then I'll judge you on that. Maybe you've had a completely perfect past, but if you're going to be a piece of shit on YouTube, then I'll judge you for that. Sure. But yeah. Yeah, I try not to. No, Mandy, I totally get it. Yeah, I totally understand that, and I completely agree. I don't. It's a scientific fact. Your frontal lobe doesn't develop. It happens at a different age. I think mine was like 28, but usually most people it's in their early 20s. Like mid early 20s. And, you don't think the same way. Things that I used to feel like were the end of the world when I was a teenager, like, I don't care anymore. Like, if, somebody doesn't like me the way that you know what I mean? Like, I don't take rejection that way anymore. It doesn't matter. But before, I was like, I can't go on, because this person doesn't like me. I don't even care about that. But is it judging or yeah, crime scene cleaner? That's a good point. I'd say it's calling out bad behavior, but that's right. I don't like to. I'm not really I'm judgmental about weird things though, like not the stuff that you'd normally think, but I will call out bad behavior. There are some people that are behaving quite badly on here, and I'm not done with my my things. Like I said, right now my focus is Dorothy and Natasha, because she's still lingering like the plague. But I do have other people that have unfortunately kind of come into my crosshairs because of the stuff that they've been doing lately, and I'm disappointed, but I have to call it out as I see it. And like I said, guys, if I'm correct with the puzzle pieces that kind of clicked in my head today, there's some major fuckery afoot. And if I am right about what I think I'm right about, yeah, guys, like it goes deeper than I thought. But I have to, like I said, guys, with the phone call, I'm not going to drop who that was without being absolutely certain, because that is a very serious accusation. So I need to be sure, but I do know who it is. I just need to verify that I'm using the correct screen name that they're currently using. And it's somebody everybody would probably recognize. So, but they need to be exposed. I don't care if they're not a creator. I don't think they're a creator. But if you're going to be making phone calls to people's family and, everything like that, then people need to know about that. I'm sorry. They just do. You're not going to do that to me or other people and think that, there aren't going to be consequences, because this person used an actual phone number that links to a name. Like, I would have figured they'd use an app, but apparently this person doesn't care. I was shocked when I got the phone records. I'm telling you, I was shocked. I was like, this person didn't use like one of those apps or like a burner. Like, I'm really surprised. I figured it was going to be hopeless trying to figure out who it was, but the name alone, like, obviously somebody's government name doesn't link to their screen name. So, I mean, there was still work to be done to figure it out, but it was somebody in Texas. Thank you, Mandy. I've actually subbed to your channel since like probably last year. So I don't think I ever unsub. I think it's been probably close to a year. I think you were one of the first people because you were part of like the original like Watts Island orbit. So T Adams, it is insane. I thought Caffeinated Slug, when I saw that I was shocked. I honestly thought it was going to be hopeless, but like I said, I don't know. Obviously someone's screen name is different than their government name, so there's that. So I guess there's that kind of anonymity. But no, like I said, this person I am almost certain is responsible for way more than just contacting, my family. I think this person is responsible for more. And it's really interesting because I was actually listening to a clip of this person on a panel, and they said the exact same words about Granny's watching. And I was able to play the voicemail and the words coming out of her mouth on panel, and it is an absolute match, no doubt in my mind. So, and that's a Natasha person. So, I mean, I think I've seen them in Dorothy's though, so it doesn't surprise me. Does not surprise me. They did mention Dorothy by name though. So, that's why I thought it was like, a Dorothy diehard, but this is somebody who's an NC person. But, I wish people had better things to do with their lives than call people's family and say like ridiculous things. Like, do you don't think my family knows me? They know that I'm not going to come on here and target elderly, sick people and bully them. Like, that is the word bully is not a word that anybody in my real life would associate with me ever. They would probably, it was just more that it was violating. It wasn't the content of the message. But yeah, yep. Texas. No, it was in the Dallas area, roughly. And yes, Texas. So I'm surprised. I'm telling you, like, a lot of these people will use apps and stuff, but no, I guess this person, either this person doesn't care, which might be true. This person actually might not care that they, did it. I think this person kind of strikes me as somebody who would almost proudly admit it. They just might not. Yeah. So we'll see. I just need to be sure. I need to be absolutely certain before I reveal it, because that's not a mistake I can make. Because that would make me, not better than some of the other people here that don't vet things. Because that is that's a fairly serious accusation on here to go real life on somebody. So, yeah, and a lot of people do believe in change on here, but, some people will come on here and they just do the same behaviors like Natasha. And I don't think that's ever going to stop. I think she's going to continue to do the things that she does. I think she's going to continue to hurt people and scam people. And I think that's just a pattern for her. She's been doing it on Facebook. She's doing it here. I mean, wherever she moves next, I'm sure she'll do that. I think she's really paranoid now. I think that she's realizing that she doesn't have the following she thought she did. I think she's realizing that those people are not going to follow her wherever she goes. She is not going to have that same sort of, following if she's not on YouTube. And I think that's why she made an account today. I think that's why she was, now is so desperate to be here. Wait, hold on. Oh, hi, Queen Bee. That, yes, it was me that either recorded. Right. Okay, yeah. Like I said, I had not heard about that situation. So, when you told your story up on Gen X's panel, I had no idea. I had heard her ranting and raving about some sort of recorded phone call, but I've heard her talk about that before, and yeah. So that's messed up. Like she can't be doing this stuff anymore. It needs to stop. And I have a feeling she'll, be live at some point. I don't know if she actually went and had her surgery. Like I said, if she's having surgery, I wish her, a speedy recovery. I would never, wish harm on anybody, but I don't know what's going on with that either. A lot of that seems kind of shady as well, but I'm just saying, I don't know any hospitals that you can like check in and then check out of and then go back, whenever you feel like it. That's a little weird to me, especially like where I live now, with, the C word and everything, like in beds being in short supply in some ways. Here, that's not how that works, not where I live, but, I could be wrong, maybe where she lives, that's how it works. And you can just kind of come and go as you please. But Country Joe caught her up on panel and she ranted off about it and didn't take accountability. Oh, of course she wouldn't take accountability. Why would she ever take accountability for it? She never does. And then she'll just gaslight you, and then she'll, try to discredit you in any way possible. And you know what? I mean, if people want to believe her, they're going to believe her, but I think she's losing credibility. I do think a lot of people, I've had actually people contact me privately who still frequent her chat because they like that community, I guess, but they've said that they don't believe a word of it. They don't believe anything that comes out of her mouth anymore. They just find it entertaining. And these are people that I don't think she'd expect would talk to me. So how do you like that, Dot? Do you like that crypticness that you like to do? Like you have an inside source into my life or anybody else's. She hasn't said me. She said that about Granny's Watching, but I'm sure she'll say it about other people at some point. I know that she's like, she's erratic. You never know what she's going to do next. But yeah, I'm probably going to get off of here and eat dinner, but I appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by. I love seeing new names. Like I said, guys, I am like 150 people off from hitting that 1K. So if you have not subscribed to me and you're watching this on replay, please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you. I am going to be doing some, I think I might be able to have my first truth bomb coming out soon, my big expose of something, but we'll see. I think so. I think it's, yep. I'm going to be calling people out. I have no hesitation anymore on doing any of that. Like I have a voice, I'm going to use it. But, and if you have already subscribed to me and you want to hit that like button, even if you're watching on the replay, drop a comment. By all means, I would love if you did that. So yes, I'm going to get off of here and go to bed. And I appreciate each and every one of you very, very much. And I love seeing familiar faces and new ones as well. So I hope everybody has a great night. That girl, if you want a wrench, I will give you one. I know that you know how to mod. So no pressure though. I mean, I am always open to having new people, especially people that know how to mod, which fortunately all of my people do. But exactly, stand your ground, just be careful. Right. Well, Queen Bee, that's the thing. And I did a lot of thinking about it. And I was thinking to myself, can I take this? And the truth is that there's nothing left for people to reveal about me or whatever that wouldn't be lies. And honestly, from what I see it, these people treat it like a game. They don't have any sympathy or regrets or anything about, they don't have that consideration for my feelings. So I'm gonna play the same game. I can do that, but I'm also not gonna take it to a level that's ratchet and like just quaint, like just wrong, like dangerous. But yes, so if anybody's interested in modding, please send me an email. And I will try. I have to get back to emails. If you have emailed me and I have not responded, I am so sorry. I have not checked my email in so long. I've been really wrapped up in schoolwork, because it's getting down to like the finals time, and obviously my schoolwork comes first, but, exactly. So yes. So yeah, if you have, yeah. I hope everybody has a great night. Please stay safe on those YouTube streets. Please, is this chat free of dumpster fires? Well, I'm about to get off of here, Nicole, but I always love seeing you in chat. And yeah, this chat was more or less free of dumpster fires. I think there was one person that came in and tried to, go and talk about things that, don't need to be talked about in my chat. And, was inappropriate comments, but that, took care of that, learned how to take care of that. But, nothing crazy. More or less it was smooth sailing, which is great. I expect more hate coming towards my way very soon, though. I feel it, but it's fine. It's nothing I can't handle. So I hope everybody has a great night. Everybody stay safe, please. Please, like, keep your personal information very close to you. I hate the fact that I even have to say that, because that's such a ridiculous thing on a site that's supposed to be entertainment. But yeah, stay safe. You know, don't talk too much about don't give people too much information, and don't believe everything you see or hear on here. Take things with a grain of salt and use your brain, because a lot of things aren't as they seem. And I will be on tomorrow night. So have a great night, guys.